Hi there, everyone. I know you're asking yourself, what comic books are coming out in November that I should be interested in? So, this is my previews list for all the books coming out in November 2024 as listed in Previews, Marvel Preview, DC Currents, and IDW's lists, and the main Previews catalog. And I know last time I said that this time, instead of starting with Marvel and working my way down, I would start at the bottom of the list and work my way up and end with Marvel. So that's what I am going to do. But first of all, speculators, because my list is small print and I want to be able to read it. So, boom, boom. Starting off at the bottom, which is not the bottom books. This is just go through Previews catalog. This is where it ended before moving in to other stuff. Statues, because they have those too. But I don't move in those circles, so I'm just giving you what I've got. So starting at the back of Previews, working my way forward, is the comic book company Dark Harbor. And they are putting out a book called Dark Untold Strange Detective #1. Looks good. I'll at least give it a check out when it first comes out. Next, from Scout, we have Kerpow #3. So yeah, I've got this on my list, of books in Previews that I'm looking forward to. And Kerpow #1 hasn't even come out yet, but I'm still looking forward to Kerpow #3. I think it sounds fun. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry, but I'm going with it. Next, again from Scout, Milk Run #1, 3-issue miniseries. Synopsis, as I say, looks good. If I read every synopsis, this video would be an hour and a half long. So I'm not reading those. Look it up yourself if you think it might be something you're interested in. And last from Scout, Rant CPU #1. Looks interesting. I'll be picking it up. Next, we have from Oni Press, Calavera PI #1. Looks good. Then, Epitaphs from the Abyss #5. So, I'm going with the horror titles. I thought Epitaphs 1 was a little lacking, but I'm still in support of it because it's Oni Press's subdivision of EC Comics, and we need to support EC Comics. About time they're back. And then we have Cruel Universe #4. Now, Cruel Universe is somewhat interesting. I didn't really care for issue #1. It wasn't bad, but it just didn't do it for me. It just, So yesterday I read Cruel Universe #2, which I'll be doing in a review, and I really enjoyed it. Each of the stories were entertaining and just kept me on the edge of my seat, and so I was a big fan of Cruel Universe #4. Next, we move on to Magma. Magma has the Pedestrian #4. So I read the Pedestrian #1. I realize it's supposed to be a serious book, but I laughed my ass off. It was hilarious. Sorry for using the word, but it was really great. Next is Hell's Half Acre #3. Haven't got #1. I'm loving the Linsner covers, so I'm going to give it a try, actually, just because of the Linsner covers. So we'll see. If I don't like it, I'll let you know. But right now I'm looking forward to Hell's Half Acre #3 in November. Next from Magma is Rome Eternal #1. So looking forward to the new #1, and it's Magma. I've enjoyed all the Magma titles so far, so hopefully this will be the same. So then we have Mad Cave. Love that title of the comic book company. First is Exit City #1. Then Spectrum #1. You know, I'm kind of iffy based on the synopsis. I'm not sure, but I'll at least give #1 a try and see what it does for me. So then we've got String #1. Wow. The synopsis I found intriguing, so I've got to give String #1 a try. So next month, of course, String #2, and then in January, String #3, and then in November, String #1 will hit, and I'll decide from there. Then we have Flash Gordon #4. I read Flash Gordon #1, and I enjoyed it. So you know what? I'm going with this Flash Gordon universe. Next, we have Dark Empty Void #3. So I've picked up Dark Empty Void #1, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. I thought it was great. I'll be putting out a review shortly on Dark Empty Void #1. Next, from Dstlry, is You Won't Fill a Thing #1. You know, I get almost all Dstlry titles. Like 1 or 2 I've skipped, other than that. So I'm going to go with You Won't Feel a Thing and see what it can do for me. But it's a new #1. I'm in. So next we have Warm Fusion #1. Again, it's a Dstlry title. Sorry to be so boring on this, but I thought the synopsis was okay, worth checking out. So I'll be picking up Warm Fusion #1. Next, we've got Big Burn #3. I am getting Big Burn. I was slightly disappointed with issue #1, but hey, you know, it was a first issue fleshing things out. Hopefully, Big Burn will move. Next, we've got Spectrograph #4. Again, wasn't a fan of #1, but you know what? I like the Spectrograph style, the styles of books. I enjoy the large format comics. You get more, in my opinion, in the large format comics. So I'm going for Spectrograph #4. Next, Life #3. I read issue #1. 2 stories, same universe, same storyline, but 2 different perspectives. And it was really entertaining. I really enjoyed the artwork. So I'm looking forward to issue #2, and then in November, issue #3. I think you'll like it if you pick it up. Next, from Battle Quest Comics, is Young Nomads #2. So #1 looks good. Pick it up in October. If I don't like it, then we'll go from there. Next, from Valiant, is Resurgence of the Valiant Universe #3. So, in my opinion, Valiant with the reboot was really, really good. I really enjoyed it, but I don't know what's going on with Valiant. They seem to be going down that same road that destroyed the original Valiant line. So I don't know, but this is the resurgence. I really hope that it does exactly that. So Valiant, Resurgence of the Valiant Universe #3. Next, we have from AHOY! is Babs, number 4. Babs number 1 was great. Does it have a comedic element? Yes. Does it have a dramatic element? Yes. Is Babs herself hilarious? Absolutely. I highly recommend Babs number 4. So you need to go find yourself an issue number 1. Get yourself on your pull list for the next several issues. It's a great book. I really recommend Babs as being on your pull list. Next, from Afterlife Comics, is Silence, number 3. Of course, number 1, not out yet, but the storyline looks like it could be really, really good. So I am recommending right now Silence, number 3. And next, we move on to Addiction Comics. Right now, Addiction Comics has 1 book, Addiction. So it's called Addiction, The Death of Your Life, number 3. I met the writer at TorpedoCon in LA a month or so ago. We had a good conversation, and he told me the story about addiction, of how it came about. Really interesting. I picked up a couple copies of Addiction number 1. I did have a small problem with it. Addiction number 1 has, here's the story. So we're going to start here, and then maybe in the next episode, this book will go back here. They skip the beginning and go straight to what has happened to her. So I still enjoyed it. I still am recommending Addiction, the comic book. But I had that problem. We'll see what happens with issue number 2. But I really enjoyed number 1, so number 3 is on my list. Looks like this book is coming out every other month. So, looking forward to Addiction number 3. Then from Abrams Comics, Human Nature number 1. Just going through previews, came across this, read it, the synopsis, and it's like, okay, you know what, I'll give it a try. So I will give it a try. Next we have, for me, from IDW, just 1 book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 5. I love the concept of the Turtles. I buy a lot of Turtles book, but I don't usually get it as an ongoing. But a new number 1, and so I've picked that up, and number 2, and I'm expecting I'll be picking up number 5. That's why it's on my list. So then we move over to Dark Horse. I'm looking forward to the Anisi Boys, number 7. So I have to admit, I haven't read any. I'm sorry. But one of the reasons that I do pick it up is the David Mack cover. Just really, really like his art, the style of his art. So I've been picking up Anisi Boys, and maybe I'll read some of them at some point, and I'll do a review. We will see. So next is Brood number 1. And the reason I'm looking forward to Brood number 1 is one of the writers is Patton Oswalt. I think Patton Oswalt is hilarious. He's a great actor. I'm not saying that I think Brood is going to be a comedy comic. It might, I'm not sure. But it's being written partially by Patton Oswalt. So, as I say, I'm in. Next, we move up to, surprise, Archie Comics. I usually don't recommend a lot of Archie Comics, but they have a new number 1 coming out. Archie is Mr. Justice. In this book, it looks like Archie becomes a superhero. Not in the main Riverdale universe, but in his own. So Archie is Mr. Justice #1. Next, coming up from Massive, is Ram God #5, which, I'm sorry, I haven't read one yet. I've got it. #2, either I've got it or it's coming out shortly. I'll try to catch up on some of these. I read a lot of books. I don't have a lot of time for all of them, but I like the idea. I like the artwork, so I'm still hanging on with Ram God #5. And then, from Massive, I Like Popeye #4. So I've got issue #1. I have not read it yet, but I'm a big fan of Popeye. I love Popeye. Once I read #1, if they're taking him in a stupid direction or making it stupid, I'm going to drop it. So right now, I'm looking forward to I Like Popeye #4. Next, we're moving on to Image. This is a big list for Image, but Image has been putting out some great titles. Some of them are a miss. Some of these on this list might be a miss, but they've consistently put out good titles. So I'm really looking forward to Image Comics. We'll start the list with Witchblade #5. Now, I didn't really care for issue #1, and I haven't read 2. I'm not even sure I have it yet. I don't know yet. But as I said, I was disappointed with issue #1, but I have personally high hopes. I think it's got some place to go. So I will call it when it comes out, but right now I'm looking forward to Witchblade #5. Next is Universal Monsters Frankenstein #4. I'm getting all the Universal Monsters titles. Like I loved Dracula, I enjoyed Creature from the Black Lagoon, so now I am all in for Frankenstein. Next, we have Void Rivals 14. So, Void Rivals has been a great read, and I'm expecting the same thing out of issue #14. So, I'm looking forward to it, and it's still going. It's 14 issues. It's going to reach in November, and it is still going. So, awesome. Next, we have Public Domain #10. Well, I enjoy Public Domain. I wouldn't say, wow, I love Public Domain. It's okay. I like it. So I am looking forward to issue #10 when it comes out. Next, we have Power Fantasy #4. So #1 came out. Everybody says it was good. I haven't read it yet. I don't know why I keep saying that for you guys, but I haven't. But I'm still looking forward to it just because of the buzz that is continuing to get across the YouTube comic book channels. So looking forward to Power Fantasy #4. Next is Lady Mechanica, Devil in the Lake #3. So I just picked up #1. Going to read it, put it in my review coming out shortly. But I met the co-writer, and she was great. And I got the book signed by her and Joe at WonderCon. So it was the Devil in the Lake preview. And I talked to her, and she made me really excited about this book. And as I said, I'll be reading #1 here shortly, putting it in a review, and you'll know when I know. Next is Geiger #8. Geiger's been a good title. It's been very enjoyable. And of course, the artwork. The Ghost Machine titles have not had any not a single book that's had stinker art. They put together the best artists, and it's really doing well. And I'm really actually quite happy and excited for Jeff Johns. Um, he's been a big writer, been written some of the best books over time, last 2 decades. Um, but this seems like a new venture, and it's new characters, and I'm really, really excited for Jeff and his co-people at Ghost Machine, and I've got several on the list here. So that's Geiger number 8. Then we have The Domain number 5. Yeah, I realize this is a superhero book, but it's kind of played for laughs. You have a super suit that only one person can use at a time. It's assembled, but once you got the one, you're controlling the suit, and there's some tension. So I'm really enjoying that. Next, we have Stand Still number 4. So I read Stand Still number 1. I did a review. You should check that out. So I am actually really excited about Stand Still number 4. It is an 8-issue miniseries, but issue number 1 was fantastic. And as I say in the review, I really enjoy Andrew Robinson's artwork. So I recommend Stand Still. And this will be issue number 4 in November. Next, we have Null Hunter number 2. I'm picking up number 1. So issue number 2 will be on my list, and probably 3 and 4. And then if I read them, don't like them, I'll drop them off the list. So Null Hunter number 4. Then The Moon is Following Us number 3. Looks good, looks entertaining, so haven't got number 1 yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So that'll be The Moon is Following Us number 3, and we'll see how it goes. Next, Hyde Street number 2. So Hyde Street hasn't come out yet, Hyde Street 1, but I did get Ghost Machine number 1, which has a little preview of Hyde Street in it. It is a horror comic, but I did enjoy that little preview. So actually right now I'm going to be getting all the Ghost Machine books and dropping them out as needed if they don't keep up. Next we have Drawing Blood number 5. Kevin Eastman, semi-autobiographical. It is about a writer and the ups and downs. So I'm recommending Drawing Blood number 5. Kevin Eastman, he's doing really fantastic stuff, and I want to keep apprised. Next, G.I. Joe number 1. Now, they are still doing G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, but I am looking forward to G.I. Joe number 1, because I believe, I'm not 100% positive, but I believe they'll be bringing the new G.I. Joe into the Energon universe. And remember, that's where it all started, G.I. Joe Transformers. So hoping we'll see G.I. Joe number 1 in the Energon universe. Next, again, from Ghost Machine, is the Rockefellers number 1. It just looks so much fun. People coming into the past, and the future comes for them. So should be good. If not, but this is issue number 1, Rockefellers. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And last on the Image bandwagon here is Hornsby and Halo. Met the artist, well, all of them except 2, at MegaCon in Orlando. He's a newer artist in the U.S. I don't remember his name, but you know what? His art goes back to cute. And Hornsby and Halo is about a devil type character and an angel type character, and they're young and interacting and trying to get things accomplished, good and bad. So I'm looking forward to Hornsby and Halo #1. We'll see how it goes after that, but right now it's on my list. Then we move to Titan, new Gun Honey sequel, Heat Seeker Combustion #1 of 4-issue miniseries, but it's in the Gun Honey universe, and I just happen to think it'll be a good book. All the Gun Honey books have gone out of print, gone into second print. They're very, very popular, so you really need to pick this book up before it gets sold out. So that's Heat Seeker Combustion #1 in November. Next, Conan, Battle of the Blackstone #3. So I'm going to be doing a review shortly of Battle of the Blackstone #1. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So I'm excited about Battle of the Blackstone #3. You know, I've enjoyed Jim Zub's writing for a long time. Been aware of it, picked up a lot of his books, but he's just seemed to hit a real stride with Conan. He just putting them out month after month after month, and they are just exciting and good to look at. The artwork in them is just gorgeous. So Jim, you keep it up, because I'm excited for the book and excited for you. Conan, Battle of the Blackstone #3, and also Conan the Barbarian #17. So he's got this special series, Battle of the Blackstone, and he's still doing Conan the Barbarian. Man, that guy is a machine. Keep it up, Jim. Really excited. Next, we move on to Dynamite. So, first on the list, Terminator #2. Well, Terminator. Well, people right now are going insane for new books. A lot of the books are just, they're hitting the top 10s on different lists. They're just really great. So I've actually ordered 10 copies of Terminator 1 coming out next month in October. And I don't know about #2. I got to take my list over to my LCS. I might add maybe 10 for #2, because #2s are always ordered less of than issue #1. I'm just thinking this is going to be a big one. So I'm excited for Terminator #2. Next, we have Barbarella #2. I got the last Barbarella series. It was okay. I like the Barbarella character, so I'm going to give her new book a try, and if I don't like it, so we'll see. Next, Johnny Quest #4. Issue #1 was so exciting. Nice cliffhanger at the end. So I'm looking forward to issue #2. So I gotta have #4 on my list. It's really been great. Well, issue #1 was really great, and I don't see any reason for it to change with issues 2, 3, and 4. We'll see. That's kind of, I guess, one of my catchphrases. We'll see. I don't like it. It just comes out. But next, Space Ghost #7. Space Ghost. So I'm just a Space Ghost fan. I really enjoy Space Ghost. So I'm on that list. I'm an all-in for Space Ghost #7. Next, Thundercats, Chitara #5. Not a big Thundercats fan, but I like Chitara. Really good stories, really good art, and I'm enjoying it. So I'm thinking it's one of the Thundercats titles to be picking up. Next, a new #1, DuckTales. So they've been doing a lot of different books, in the Disney area with the ducks. And I'm going to pick up DuckTales. I think that type of book is fun. Probably more for kids, but you know, I'm a kid at heart. So I've got to pick me up DuckTales #1. Then, one of my favorite characters, Green Hornet with Miss Fury #1. I'd been picking up the last Miss Fury title and it disappeared. And I've picked up Green Hornet, gone. So now they're doing a crossover. Green Hornet, Miss Fury, new #1. So I'm looking forward to that. And next we're moving on to Boom. So first, The Fade #1. New #1, looking forward to it. Next, a book I don't generally get. Power Rangers Prime #1. But previews had a portion with the artwork in there. And it's because of the art. I'm going to be picking up Power Rangers Prime #1. The art. It looks so great. I am going to be getting this book. Next we have from James Tynion, Wind, W-Y-N-D, The Power of Blood #1. So I'm picking this book up because it's James Tynion IV. That's why I'm picking it up. We'll know more later. Next, Minor Arcana #3, #1 just came out. I'll be reading it and putting it in my review. So that's what we're going for there. Minor Arcana #3. Then we have Hello Darkness #5. Hello Darkness #1 was okay. Did it really knock my socks off? No. But it was okay. It was okay. So I'm still looking forward to picking up issue #5. Next we have Vicarious #2. This is one of those, I read the synopsis and I don't know. I don't know. I will know more in October when issue #1 comes out. But for right now, issue #2 is on my list. Next we have SIR #4. Another one, read the synopsis. I don't know. But I'm going to give it a shot. So it is on my list. And last from Boom, Garfield #4. Not only is it the last on the list, but it is Garfield's last issue. So I love Garfield. I don't care. They put it out again, I'll buy it again. Garfield is hilarious. And you know what? The stories have been great. They're still good stories, still fun. Next, we're moving on to another big list. DC. Lot of new #1s at DC. So first, I want to go with Justice League Unlimited #1. Now, I'm not sure if this is an absolute title, but it's a new #1 for Justice League. I pick all those up, and I'm not going to stop. So this one, it's about time. Black Lightning #1. Black Lightning has been in the past a consistently good character. So I am really excited about a new Black Lightning #1. And then the next #1, JSA #1, a new Justice Society, JSA. I've been a fan of the JSA. I used to get All-Star Comics, which was JSA-centric, and then I picked up JSA. Speaking earlier of Jeff Johns, I have some JSA signed by Jeff Johns about 15 years ago. But a new JSA #1 coming out, so I'm excited. Then we have the Question #1. So I am asking myself that question, can this book be good? If it is, I'm excited, and as DC says, I'll be all in on the question number 1. Another new number 1, Milestone Universe Shadow Cabinet. Synopsis looks very entertaining, so I will be picking that up. Then we do move on to the Absolute titles. We've got Absolute Batman number 2. Now, I agree with some people. I don't like the insignia, but so what? If the Batman is good, I'm all in. But Absolute Batman number 2. Then I don't know, maybe it was put off in this previews. They're putting in Absolute Superman number 1. So, of course, I don't know if everybody knows, but Absolute Universe is kind of DC's version of Marvel's Ultimate Universe. So we'll see how that goes. I'm a little concerned about having to buy 2 Batman titles, 2 Superman titles, 2 Wonder Woman titles. But I don't know. Next, Absolute Wonder Woman number 2. What can I say? Absolute Wonder Woman number 2. Moving on. Another book I'm just highly recommending. I am so looking forward to this book. It is the Superman 100 Project, supporting the Hero Initiative. If you're not familiar with the Hero Initiative, look it up. Very, very worthwhile company. It's a nonprofit helping comic book creators that are in financial difficulties. So look up the Hero Initiative and pick up a copy of the Superman 100 Project. They took Superman blanks and had 100 artists draw their rendition of Superman, and it's all in this one book. So I'm getting it. I recommend you do too. Next is Superman 20. I'm always looking forward to the Superman titles. Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. I pick them all up. Sometimes they're... but still going. But I did read the synopsis for number 20. It looks entertaining. Looks good. So still going with Superman, number 20. Next is Action Comics 1074. 1074 through 1077, 1077. There are 4 books and Action Comics coming out in November. So not excited about 4 books in the entire month. When you add a $5 price tag, wow, that's $20 on one book. But it does have a continuous story in all 4 issues. So I personally am looking forward to Action Comics 1074 through 1077. Then a new number 1, Batgirl. So I've bought Batgirl before and ended up canceling, but you know what? It's a new Batgirl number 1, so I'm all in. Next we have Batman Dark Age number 6. Been entertaining. I've actually really enjoyed it. I wasn't expecting to, but I am. So Batman Dark Age number 6. Then we have Detective Comics 1090. So this is one of the titles from DC I pick up. If I don't like the story necessarily when I read the synopsis, I'm picking it up anyway. But this synopsis looked pretty good, so I'm actually excited about Detective Comics 1090. Last on the list from DC is The Nice House by the Sea number 5. So Nice House by the Sea number 1 was really good. Haven't read number 2 yet. I don't know if I have it. Maybe not. I don't know. But number 1 was good. James Tynion IV. So I'm still on the bandwagon for Nice House by the Sea, and this would be issue number 5. So then we are moving on to Marvel. So I've worked my way back, and now I'm at Marvel. So these will be the last, but it's an entire page, all to Marvel. So first, we have The Amazing Spider-Man, number 61 and 62. So the one big reason I'm excited about 61 and 62, because we're getting a new writer. I actually have enjoyed the last few issues by Jeb, but earlier issues were not to my liking. But I'm hoping a new writer will bring some life into Amazing Spider-Man. So 61 and 62. And I always recommend Spider-Man as a title to pick up. You need to keep up your continuity and know what's going on with Peter Parker. Next, we have Moon Knight, Fist of Khonshu, number 2. So, looking forward to number 1. I've always been a Moon Knight fan. The only thing I don't have right now is the Werewolf by Night issue. But I have all his other books. I love Moon Knight. Sometimes it's been not what I expect. But in general, I really enjoy Moon Knight. So Fist of Khonshu number 2. I'm going to be looking out for it. Next, we have Blade, Red Band, number 2. So I'm a Blade fan. I do have Tomb of Dracula 10. So I'm a Blade fan. Picked up his last series, but now they're going to Red Band. So we'll see how that goes. Because a lot of the Red Band, it's like, okay. So they add a page or two with a little more violence. Doesn't really float my boat, as they would say. Next is Kahori, Reshaper of Worlds, number 1. Just gonna give it a try. See what it does. See how it goes. So, it's on my list. But I wouldn't say the synopsis knocked my socks off, but I thought it looked like at least worth checking out. Next is Mystique number 2. Gonna give Mystique a try. Don't know if I'll continue on with it, or even it might be a mini series and I'm just not aware. Then we're moving on to Sentinels number 2. I think the premise looks promising, so I'll be looking forward to Sentinels 1 and then Sentinels 2 in November. Next, so Wolverine number 3. Looking forward to the Wolverine new relaunch. We'll see how it goes, but I always pick up Wolverine. It's one of my favorite characters. There's a lot of people. It's one of their favorite characters. So, what do I say? Next, Exceptional X-Men number 3. Now this one, I'm not sure. I'm going to read Exceptional X-Men 1 later today, put it in my review, but I'm not hearing good things. But it is a new X-Men title, so it is on my list, as well as X-Men number 7. X-Men number 1, no. But X-Men number 2 was really good. I haven't read the more current issues, but I did like number 2. So I'm going to hang on and go with X-Men number 7. Next, X-Force number 5. So I think X-Force has been good, so I'm going to continue to pick it up. Next is Uncanny X-Men 5 and 6. Uncanny X-Men has been very, very good, so I highly recommend it, and that's why it's on my list. Next, X-Factor number 4. Big fan of X-Factor. Really like them. So I'm going to continue and pick up issue number 4. Then we have the Ultimate Spider-Man number 11. So Ultimate Spider-Man has been down and up and down and up, but across the entire board, it's been a good read. A lot of the ones that are just not that good are exposition, letting you know some of the stuff that's going on. But I've still been enjoying the title, so I'm looking forward to Ultimate Spider-Man number 11. Next, we have the Ultimates number 6. First couple issues, wow, knocked me out of the park. This has been really great, so I am looking forward to issue number 6. Then we have Spider-Man Reign 2, number 5. You know, I didn't get the original Spider-Man Reign title. I may have picked up an issue 1, but that would have been it. You know, but people are really liking this, and so I've read it, and yeah, I liked it. I liked it. So I'm going to continue on with Spider-Man Reign 2, number 5. Next, Phases of the Moon Knight, number 4. Number 1 entertained me. I enjoyed it, so I will be going again with Phases of the Moon Knight, number 4. Next, we have Werewolf by Night Red Band, number 3. Well, if you saw my review, I didn't really care for number 1. Just really lost me. But that's okay. It's still on my list because I still have high hopes. So then we have Spirits of Vengeance, number 3. So I like the characters. Number 1 hasn't been out yet, but I'm sure when it comes out, I'll be picking it up, and it will definitely be in one of my reviews. So next we have Deadpool Team Up number 4 of a 5-issue miniseries. I like Rob Liefeld. He's actually a really good guy. I enjoy his artwork. A lot of people have complained over the years about it. Too bad. I like it, so I'm picking it up. The one thing that really bothers me, sorry to rant here, but Deadpool Team Up, you know what? During this run of Deadpool, he dies. Oh, sorry for the spoiler, if anybody doesn't know. But we got Deadpool dying, but then we got a couple more stories. Blah, blah, blah. You know, not excited about that, but still, what you gonna do? So I'm gonna pick up Deadpool Team Up number 4. Number 1 was good. I really had a good time with number 1. So we'll see what 2, 3, and then 4 do. Then we have Deadpool number 8. Spoiler, his daughter's Deadpool. Wade Wilson is dead. Shouldn't have happened. But, you know, Marvel is trying to bring in younger characters to replace the old. But look at Riri Williams, what that did. So, oh well. But then we have Conquest 2099, number 3 of 5. So the last 2099 was really good. I enjoyed all 5 issues. So now they're moving on to what the secondary storyline was about in the first 4, and then in the 5th one what the storyline was, and now they're moving on. But I really enjoyed them, so I'm going to be picking up Conquest 2099 number 3. Number 1 and 2, of course. Then Wolverine Revenge number 4. This one I'm not going to give any spoilers, but Wolverine Revenge number 1, what a twist. I was not expecting that. I thought it was great. So I am really looking forward to picking up Wolverine Revenge number 4. Then we have Chasm, The Curse of Cain number 4. I like the Ben Reilly character. I'm sorry he's turned into Chasm, but hey, what are you going to do? It is a story, it is in continuity, and we've got a new little battle coming up, so I'm looking forward to it. Chasm, Curse of Cain, number 4. And last, but not least on the list, is Star Wars, Ahsoka, number 5. So, Ahsoka is the TV series brought into comic book form, so you expect what you get in the TV series, which you do, but That's what Mandalorian did, and it was still hot. It was still big. So I'm looking forward to the continuing Ahsoka saga through, I believe, 8 issues. So this will be issue number 5. So that's the end of my list. Books in September 2024, previews coming out in November of 2024. So I hope this list helps you decide. There were a lot more books in previews. This is not a list of everything in previews. This is just a list of the books I'm looking forward to, and I certainly hope it helps you make a decision on books that you're looking forward to. So thank you very much, everybody. We will see you all next time. Bye.